Welcome back to the channel. First long form video today. There's quite a few shorts on the channel already where I'm up and moving, giving you some training tips to try. So I hope you've had some fun with those already, or if not, go back and check them out. Today I wanted to talk about bodywork as it relates to energy work. So in the Chinese systems like Qigong and Tai Chi, obviously the bodywork's baked into it. But with the Western esoteric systems, there's often not a bodywork component. I don't know whether it's been there and it's been lost or it was never there in the first place. I've kind of made it my mission to add it back in. And as a result, your energy work is much more comfortable and much more productive. Everything moves along a lot quicker for you. And there seems to be a lot more interest in this area recently. So thought it would be a good time to have a chat about it. So I'm going to give you 3 techniques or 3 tips which you can add into your practice and you can apply straight away. So number 1 is grounding. So we all know about grounding, but today I'm seated, so it's slightly different. So even if you're doing seated practice, and seated practice is great, it just adds a bit of variety. You can do it in front of the television. Some people might need it as an adaptation, but you still want to be grounding. So there's 2 ways you can do it. Either you can apply a little bit of ground pressure through the feet, or if you are seated as an adaptation, you can apply that pressure just through your sitting bones. So just pushing down with your hips slightly, and both methods work equally as well. In terms of what part of your feet to push through, often that's a matter of practicality. In this chair I'm sat in here, the balls of my feet are in contact with the floor, so I'm just applying a little bit of ground pressure through them. So that's grounding. Second tip is transitions between postures. So there's been a few books out recently on holding postures, a bit like the Jamjong, standing like a tree exercise from Qigong, but from a Western magic perspective. But what they miss is the transition between the postures, and the transitions can contain as much information as holding the postures themselves. So I'll give you an example. Say you're going from an earth posture, palms down, to an air posture, palms up. Or you can just flip your hands over like I did then. But it's much more fun, much more interesting, the aesthetics better if you were to do a nice spiraling movement between them. So it makes it more of a creative endeavor for yourself, but most importantly, you learn a lot more from the transition. So there'll be a point there where you feel the energy change from earth to air. So you're going to learn just as much from the transition as holding the postures themselves. So that's grounding, and then there's transitions. The third is probably the most important. So to be able to be a really good energy worker, you need quite strong and elastic connective tissue in the body. You can run much more energy if you've got an appropriately built body, and that doesn't mean lots of hard work. For example, when people do weights, they build their muscles quite quickly, but the connective tissue lags behind, and as a result, they can end up injuring themselves. So an example of this, going back to our earth and air technique there, what you need to do is just apply a bit of dynamic tension in the arms and the hands. So what you're doing is you're using the antagonistic muscles in your arms against each other. So it's not tension as such, it's sort of functional tension. You still want to maintain an element of relaxation, but what you're going to be doing is very slowly and very safely over time developing the connective tissue, and you'll find that chi, that energy that you've been searching for so long, will suddenly start to appear. And if you are feeling uncomfortable, and by uncomfortable I mean sometimes it's a bit like a restless legs feeling in your whole body when you've got stuck energy, that will really get you through that blocker. So that's 3 training tips. So we've got the grounding, we've got the transitions, and we've got the building the connective tissue. So go away and give those a try. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch or pop a comment down below. We've also got a course that takes a deep dive on this, so I'll link that in the description. That'll give you everything you need for a lifetime of energy work. But other than that, have fun with it, and we'll see you again soon.